Coucou, aujourd'hui vous prenez des notes sur les pronoms relatifs. So we're going to take a look at relative pronouns. These are going to help you connect sentences in a way that is sophisticated and shows that you understand and really have a strong grasp of the language. One thing we're going to talk about a lot in this lesson is the word antecedent, and that's referring to a noun that is already mentioned in a sentence. In French, there are many relative pronouns, so let's take a look at each one and how to use them. Before we do you remember what I just said about antecedents? Hopefully you remember that the antecedent is D, the noun that has already been referred to. We're starting with the relative pronoun qui. It's going to function as the subject of the idea that follows it in the sentence, and its antecedent can be a person or a thing. Here's an example sentence. L'actrice qui joue le rôle principal du film n'est pas très bonne. Our antecedent is the actress, and the verb that's going to agree with it actually is all the way towards the end. It's the A. It's from être. So the whole idea of the actress who plays the principal role in the film, the main role, isn't very good. She isn't. We have all this extra information in the middle. In the second one, on critique les pubs qui montrent trop de nudité. One criticizes advertisements that show too much nudity. Our antecedent is advertisements. And the verb montrer agrees with them, and it's a plural verb. For que, it's going to be the direct object. The antecedent can still be a person or a thing. And it has the gender and number of its antecedent. And when we have que in the passé composé, there will be some agreement with the past participle. Okay, so the film that we saw yesterday is good. Our antecedent is the film. In the passé composé, the past participle vous. We don't have to make any extra steps to have it agree because film is masculine and singular. L'actrice que nous avons vue est très connue. Since our antecedent is the actress, the word vous has an E at the end to signify that the actress is a feminine noun. True or false? Qui is followed by a verb, but que is followed by a new subject. That is true. So that is the most simple way to differentiate when to use qui and que. Now we have the relative pronoun dans. It's also going to function as an object, but in situations where we have a verb phrase that ends with de. Often we're going to translate this to whose in English. Voici le garçon dont la voiture est volée. Here is the boy whose car was stolen. But you don't always have to translate it that way. Le grand classique dont il se souvient le mieux est Casablanca. In this case, the grand classic of which he remembers the best is Casablanca. And in French, these speakers know that you would use dont because they know that the verb se souvenir is followed by the preposition de. La vedette dont nous parlons est Gérard Depardieu. The celebrity of which we are talking about is Gerard Depardieu, our friend Cyrano. Here are some common expressions that are verb expressions that have de at the end. So when you're using them in a sentence and you want to use a relative pronoun, you're going to choose dont. There are hundreds of expressions like this in French, but you guys will be responsible for being comfortable with these by the time we have a test or a quiz. If you don't know what one of these means, please look it up or ask me in class tomorrow. So as a review, how are we going to translate the word dont in this sentence? Hopefully you picked B, of which. The celebrity of which we are talking about is Gerard Depardieu. Now we have the relative pronoun lequel. We've seen this as an interrogative, but it's also going to be able to act as the object, and only when its antecedent is a thing. It's going to need to agree with the antecedent, just like when it's in a question form. So this example sentence, explain to me the reasons for which you prefer this channel. The reasons why, we might say in English, but in French they'll say the reasons for which you prefer it. Since the antecedent is reasons, We have the preposition pour. Then we're going to have lesquels, plural and feminine. And remember, if your antecedent is a person, use qui. Explain to me for whom you work. Now we have the relative pronoun où. This one is fairly easy because it functions as a relative pronoun of time and location, when or where. Jacques never forgot the day when his grandmother left the cinema before the end of the movie. Its antecedent is the day when. What is the name of the restaurant where you saw Tom Hanks? The antecedent is the restaurant where. Ça qui, ce que, and ça dont. These are going to be used in the exact same ways as qui, que, and dont. However, in all of these instances, there is an element where the antecedent is unknown. Je ne comprends pas ce qui se passe dans le film. I don't understand what is happening in the film. What is the subject? What happens? And I can't explain what it is, so I have to say ce qui. Ce que, same idea, but it's an object where it's unknown. Dis-moi ce que vous voulez regarder à la télé. Tell me what it is that you want to watch on TV. Ce dont, same idea. Je ne comprends pas ce dont vous avez peur. I don't understand what you are afraid of. And we know that the expression is avoir peur de, which is why we used ce dont. So for all these expressions, you should be able to go back, take a look, and write down what they mean in English. If when you come to class, you are unable to do so, please let me know so we can go over them a little bit further. But on this page, we have a summary. If we're talking about the subject, person or thing, qui, object, you can use que. After the preposition de, use don't. And the object of the sentence after a different type of preposition, such as pour. If it's a person, use qui. And if it's a thing, use lequel. If we're talking about time and place, use où. There you have it. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask in class. A bientôt.